Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much for coming.
As you know, I was recommended by Elizabeth, and already it's been an interesting journey because for me felt is something new and unusual, something I know nothing about.
All right.
Except maybe it's a natural fibre.
Yeah.
And maybe it's even sustainable and something that we can use in the future.
Yes, it is.
And you are obviously an interesting person because you're a friend of Elizabeth's and she's an interesting person.
She is, yes.
But also I think you have made some big decisions in your life to tread this path and bring a felt craft business to the foothills of Mount Leinster.
Yeah.
And something we're all grateful for. So I was just hoping that maybe you could share your story a little bit with us, please.
Okay. Just a little thing about the felting is felt is made with wool, sheep wool, and it's one of the most ancient textile technique. So sheep was supporting human history for food and shelter and clothes. So that's, and I really like sheep. I was an agriculture student, and I studied sheep reproduction, and then somehow my interest shifted to wool. So and I ended up making felt with wool. That's And the story I want to tell you about was, as you said, probably the red thread of fate. So like why I'm here, why am I doing this, why you are here today, it's all about, for me it's all about red thread, which led me here. When I moved to Ireland, which was 2012, I participate artist in residence project in Kerry. And I was there like during Christmas in the middle of winter, and personally it was a little bit of a difficult time for me, but anyway I was there, and there was another painter, she's Irish, and so we were actually only two in the 9 cottages because it's Christmas time and nobody wanted to spend time there. So and she also really liked when it's really stormy outside. She really liked to see the storm, so we often spent like a half an hour outside, like holding a rock because it was so windy and so wild.
Like today, perhaps.
Yes, it was, but it was beautiful. And but also I was thinking, because I just came from Japan, and I came to Ireland, and I was in the west end of Ireland, which is, for me, it was like the end of the world.
Yeah, it is.
And it was so stormy and wild, and what am I going to go now? Where am I going to do from now? That's what I was thinking, quite dramatic. And then that was in the winter, and I was so looking at the sea, and oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm in the end of the world, and my home country was just so far away. That was I was kind of thinking. And the next spring, I went to America. I was my friend invited me, and it was in the East Coast, and they took me to the beach. I was picking up the stones and shells, and then I just look at the sea, and then I was wondering, yeah, okay, hold on, over there, that was the end of the world I was standing 6 months ago. And I thought, okay, it wasn't the end of the world actually, it continues. And then in the same trip, I went to the West Coast. I didn't go to the sea, to the beach, but then I was thinking, if I keep going to the west, actually, I end up Japan. I thought that was end of the east, but actually it's around. So, okay. And then when I got this idea, I just thought the equator of the earth, and in Japanese, equator is called sekido, means red road. So for me, anytime I think about the planet, there's a red line in the middle. And I was also living in Indonesia for 4 years. And when I was there, I was also a little bit mess in my mind. And I wanted to get balanced. But then when I was in Indonesia, because everything was so different, I felt very comfortable. And then I was thinking I was standing on the red line, and it's in the middle of the earth, yin and yang, you know. So that was balanced place. So I thought, yes, so red line, balanced, very important. That's what I was thinking. So when I was in the west coast of America, and I thought, okay, Japan is over there. Okay, I'm on the red line again, balanced, right. So this is a kind of the idea. I don't know where this idea bring it me to, and so the saying of Japanese red thread of fate means normally we use it between people. When you meet your partner, when you meet your first girlfriend or boyfriend, we say like, oh, there must be a red thread of fate between us. This is how we normally use this word. But I extended the meaning a little bit. Like, as I said, why am I here today? Why you're here today? Why am I doing this filming today? Could be the red thread. And also I did some work with this idea. If I think about this, like my children, why they came to me, and especially as the woman, when you're pregnant, you have a baby, there's the code between us. That is also for me, it's a red line. Like I was connected to my mother, sorry Dad, but it's DNA. Like my half of DNA from Mom, Dad, and the other half, it's continuous. That is also my red line. So that's connect to me, connect everything. And so whenever you see something or do something, something makes you happy, something makes you unhappy, or there is a red line, I think. And sometimes the bad thing is a bad thing, there is no meaning at all, but still it could be, I don't know, could be something. And even if you make a huge mistake and you regret, or but one day when something happened to you, you just realize, oh, that's why I made mistake there. For this. So sometimes we say you can't change the past, but actually you can. It's in your mind. So I'm not really saying like listen to your inner voice or anything, but as we said before, I think we need to sometimes we need to fight, but we can accept more. And then when you accept, if you need to fight, after you accept it, you realize, yes, I need to fight. I don't want it, or I don't want to be there. Okay, I fight it over. So you like to decide thing. I think you need to see the red line, why it happened to me, and then decide what to do. That's my red line.
Can I ask a couple of ideas from that? One is, it sounds like you didn't necessarily think like that in your youth, as a young person, as a child, as a teenager, and even maybe as a young adult. And the way you told the story, it was like this awareness came upon you perhaps, particularly a few events, standing in Kerry, standing on the East Coast, and this recognition of connections, and even with the traditions which you knew, had heard of, but didn't quite make the connection.
It is.
So I mean, was it a stark difference? What do you think allowed you to be able to see beyond the traditions which you grew up with, which maybe some of the people who you grew up with have not been able to?
Probably because I was having a hard time, and I had a difficulty. And I thought my country, my family were always there for me, to help me. That was kind of a basic for me, I never doubt. And even probably I didn't really treat my parents in a good way, especially when I was a teenager. I was a really difficult child. But still, they were for me there always. But actually, not really. When I had a difficult time, it was a really big shock, but also just everything. I was just having a hard time. And what I was believing, not believing, it's just there. I thought it's just there, but actually it wasn't. So that's what I realized. So I need to change, or I need to look at everything from the beginning with my own eyes. But of course, because I was grown up in Japan, so my base is in Japan. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think if you go through any difficulty, actually, you learn a lot. And that makes you stronger. It's not only stronger, it makes what you are, I think. And with the difficulty, actually afterwards you realize you understand others' difficulty much easier. And you can't help them, but you understand. And you know how important to tell the person, yes, I do understand you, you know, with real meaning. You really mean it. People say that quite often, but people just to say it to be nice to you, to be kind to you, which is good. But after you go through the difficulty, or when you see somebody else going through, you know it. And I think that's a big gift. And then because I can, before I didn't know. So, you know, there are many people around me who had a difficulty. I never knew. I didn't really care. So, but now that's a kind of a treasure for me. So when I was in that difficulty, I said, I thought I was in the end of the world. I was just thinking about me.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think it was okay. I think I was allowed to think about me. But then afterwards, just a little by little, you started seeing something different, and also you started seeing what the real difficulty is. But still, there are so many other difficulties I don't know. But what I know is what I know, and I like to be open as well. And I don't want to go through the difficulty anymore, but still, sometimes you can't really avoid it. So just
Perhaps
to follow.
one faces it differently,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a different awareness.
yeah, yeah.
Do you think there are other people from your community who follow a sort of a similar, not the same path, obviously, but a transformation or a realization, or do you think it's unusual among your, you know, back home, your family, where did you say? Hokkaido?
Hokkaido, yeah. I don't know, some people, but everybody has their own difficulty. And I don't say I see better than them. No, they see everything in their own way, and you need to respect that. But some people who never left the country, the way of the thinking or looking at the thing is a little bit different from mine. But anyway, everybody's different. But now this is another thing, because so here in Ireland, obviously I'm not Irish, and I
What? Everybody who lives in Ireland immigrated here from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So don't be shy.
No.
Irish.
No, but you know, I like being. I really like living in Ireland now. I really enjoy it. I really love it. But I'm not Irish, and
What are you?
I don't know. It's me. It's me. It's Leiko. Because if I'm going to Japan, people look at me in a different way. Like, who is she? Who's looks different now. Because in Japan, women, it's so rare to see women not dyeing hair. So people don't feel comfortable looking at me. It's quite interesting. It's not me who's uncomfortable, it's them who's uncomfortable. And I sometimes forget about this and what is this? And then I realize, oh yes, because I don't put any makeup on and my hair's grey. So, and some people say something like, oh, it's good or brave or, okay. But for me, it's nothing really special. So that's, something of being different in your own country, and they don't treat you in a, like before. It's they just don't know how to treat me.
But they don't quite understand because there's something different from their normal frame of reference.
If I don't speak, they think I'm not Japanese. They think I'm a foreigner.
Really?
Because I look different. They don't want to think,
yeah,
I'm a part of them. But as soon as they find I'm a Japanese, they don't know how to deal with me. Not everybody, but in general. And my friends, they want to introduce me to their friends because I'm different. And yeah, so sometimes a little bit tired. I'm not the one who's different. I'm Leiko, okay? No. Yeah, but yeah, it is interesting.
I suppose in some ways you're helping us here in Ireland see the bigger world as well, because there are not so many people who, in Ireland, who were not, the classic Irish look, black or red hair, pale complexion, everybody has the same last name.
Right. Yeah.
It's Butler or Murphy or Nolan or what. But,
right. Yeah.
And yet now, as the changes in Europe and the changes in Ireland over the last 20 years, I found that there are a lot of differences, and some of perhaps those pent-up passions have been allowed to move forward. So now we have, the marriage law has changed, the abortion law has changed. People, that humanity has been allowed to flourish a little bit, and you can get, Chinese and Indian food in the
exactly.
the town now,
yeah, exactly.
You couldn't do so easily then. And I suppose we've kept our borders open because of Europe and the EU and a lot of Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had many South Africans coming up because they want safety. So we can be a welcoming place, which has allowed that to happen. So it's not necessarily an easy place to get on. I mean, look at this workshop. It's a cottage which has been around for 200 years. It was built by hand, clearly. No machines involved. You can hear the wind blasting outside.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
You have to be a bit tough to live on the side of a hill.
Probably, yeah.
With sheep.
With sheep. But this toughness is natural for me, instead of turn the switch on to heat the house, I have to carry the firewood and make a fire, and I quite like that part of living. Like all work we do. Now, if you say work, most of the people think to make money, but actually to make a living, in English it's the kind of same way, but I get to make a life, everyday life, making food, making a fire, cleaning up, washing and everything. That's all the part of the work, and I call my folk making is work. But it is. This is one of my way of making living, and I'm not doing it for making money. No, because I do it because I like it, and I have to negotiate with my feeling what to make or what to do, because I need to make money with a part of this. But at the same time, I don't want to forget what I want to do. Because if I start doing something I don't want to do, it doesn't have to be folk making. This is a really hard way of making money. So it could be better to do something else. I don't know if I can do anything else at the moment. But yeah, it's not, sometimes it's hard because I have so many things to do and the money is so little, but still, yeah, I don't really need huge big cars and huge big castle-like house and convenience. Yeah,
and you'd have to fill it with fuel.
Yeah.
But
so I don't really need it. Yeah.
Enjoying life.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not work. It's something to do.
It's something to do. Yes.
Something you love.
Yeah.
Something creative.
It is.
Intelligent.
Yeah. And it brings people to me as well.
Mad people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's lovely.
Yeah, so I'm quite lucky because I know what I want to do. But it was also not my really choice, because when I came here, there was nothing else I could do. I started felt making about 26, 7 years ago.
Wow.
I never thought it would be my work.
Wow.
And but when I came here, there's nothing else I could do. This was only the thing I could do, and I didn't know how, but still I was doing it. But yeah, some people say I came here because I wanted to do more work. I came here for my felt work. Yeah, I left my family because Leiko wanted to do her own career, continue, not the family life. I don't know why people see like this, but quite a few people, some closer friend also told me, people see it that way, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not, I didn't have any other choice, because I had to start living,
Right.
and how am I going to make money? In the beginning I thought probably I can work some kind of like a traveling, sightseeing sector, because I guess speak the English and Japanese and French, and so I thought that's what I had to do, or like renting a big house and start B&B or something like this. I never thought about I was going to live on my felting.
So quite a lucky accident.
It was a very lucky accident.
Because something that you loved for many years.
Yeah.
And it suddenly became
yes, yeah, I
well.
was living on it before, long time ago, but then I just went back to that stage.
Yeah. Do you think what you've learned about, or what you've experienced facing the difficulties, changing your perspective, following your passion, do you think those sorts of perspectives, have you shared them with your children? Do you think they can learn from you, or is it difficult to share those ideas?
I think we're sharing little by little, because they are getting in getting the age, they are starting their own life. So they started seeing a lot of different things. I didn't really explain why I had to leave, because that's a very private story. Nothing, I can't say nothing to do, but yeah, the cause is nothing to do with my children, and they are the one who just had a hard time.
Yes.
So but I just wanted to. The most important thing was I wanted to develop a good relationship with them, because we are not living together anymore. And also, it's not easy for children. Like if you get divorced, means you take away home from them. Like they don't have any more home to go back, where both the parents are waiting for you. And when you're in that situation, you just look around your friends, and you just point out only the friend who has a nice home, nice family home, and have family holidays, and they just like always see what they don't have, and it's not really easy for the young age. But now they started their own life, kind of, and they probably started looking at me in a different way. And because I always said, we separated, but we are always family. I'm always your mom, and dad is always your dad. That's never changed. We are family. We just between dad and mom, and it didn't work out, that's all. And so I don't know, but it seems they feel free to talk about their dad, and they feel free to talk about me to their dad, and I still see him as well if I go to France. So just recently I started feeling it's really good. I probably did the good thing. So that was a kind of a little bit of relief. Oh, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult.
And very difficult to do well.
No, but I'm not the person who say I did it well. No, it was really, really, really difficult for my children. And I try not to feel sorry for it, because that was a way.
Very sensible.
But still, it's so hard not to have this guilty feeling. I still have it, but I don't want to concentrate on looking at that guilty feeling, because it doesn't go anywhere from there.
No.
So.
No. And what's done is done.
Yeah, exactly.
The bridge has been passed.
Yeah.
And now we must look for other ripples.
Yeah.
Do you have, are there any practices that you employ to keep your sense of self and your consciousness? Because, I mean, the experiences that you've described of finding yourself, facing difficulties, traveling around the world, recognizing the patterns in your life and in the lives around you, and making difficult decisions. Those are things that I think a lot of people dream about and they think about, and then they go back to the 9-to-5 job.
I understand.
But you are happy and laughing and you have progressed.
Yeah.
And instead of festering in a wound, you have cleaned the wound, put the bandage on, and moved on to rebuild the rest of the body.
Right. Yeah.
In a sense. And I just wonder, a spiritual practice of some kind helps a lot of people. And for me, I'm atheist, I'm anti-theist in fact, but I also believe I'm quite spiritual. And I have found that some kind of spiritual practice helps to stop me going too far down to the dark hole when I'm dealing with challenges.
Right, yeah.
When you can see an enemy, that's fine, you can attack and you can deal with it. When you don't know when you're facing yourself, that's difficult. I don't know, maybe is there any, were you brought up in a religious household?
No, not really, no. And I don't have any particular practice. This spiritual journey it's very popular in Japan as well, but sometimes I don't know what it is. Like when you're in a Western country, you look at the Eastern countries and the spiritually, like their practices, this and that, and I see a lot of the books about like Buddhism or Zen or meditation or but for me it's nothing really special to talk about, and I wish I could do any meditation, but I just haven't really happened to me yet. I joined my friends' meditation sessions and sit together with everybody and chanting, but it doesn't really do anything to me. I just enjoyed those times with being with my friend. But for me, I think I have...
How about the work?
The work?
Yes, I don't know what the work is like, but you've mentioned a couple of times that it is hard work.
It is hard, yeah.
And so I imagine, like myself in the garden sometimes when you're weeding and you're on your knees and you're just going along and weeding and weeding and weeding. That in itself is, there can be a spiritual aspect to it, you may call it therapeutic.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes an opportunity where your thoughts are there and you can process things. I don't know.
I think that's also that's the gardening and felting. Because sometimes if I get stuck with my work, I go to garden. And that's what I really need to do. But there are some process similar to the gardening, like just I had to keep doing exactly the same thing until that's like so those are also good. But I think for me, when it was very difficult, I met a few good friends. Like when I left Japan, As I said, even a good friend of mine in Japan, they look at me, I was the one who did wrong. And I was told so by quite a few friends, and for me, I didn't right, but it wasn't wrong. That's what I was really believing. But quite a few people told me I did the wrong thing. So it was a little bit hard. But then when I went to see my friends in different countries, like the people I met just for a short time, and then most of them, they all women, said, "Oh, it must be very hard for you, and it must be very hard for you to live far from your children, or you're very brave. You know what you did. You did a really right thing, and I hope you can find somebody nice now. You know, that kind of thing, which I never ever heard in Japan." Probably it's just the people around me. I don't know, but I never really got anything like this. So I was just the only one who was trying to keep myself in a small shell. And it's okay, don't worry. You're not right, but you're not wrong. You're okay. That I had to fight with it all the time. So, but then when I met these people, like, yeah, right. Yes, thank you. So I've been surrounded by those people.
All you needed was a different perspective from the sort of the singular perspective that you were exposed to in Japan.
So
when you say friends, I keep assuming that your friends are from different countries.
Yeah, different countries.
Not just Japanese friends.
No. So yeah, and here also, you know, like when you after being adult, sometimes it's not that easy to find a very good friend you can connect to. It takes time, but I found one really good friend here, and she's been really good to me, and she's becoming like my family. Her family look after me, and it's really, really nice. So
we are lucky.
Really lucky, really lucky. So like when I met somebody, no, you can't.
We were talking about money before.
Yeah.
And you know, the work and the, you know, whether it's an activity.
Yeah.
And you said it's life. It's a way of, it's making a living, but it's just living.
It is, yeah.
And if you're with people like a friend who supports you, that is very precious.
It is very, very precious, and
Because
she keeps me laughing.
Find
And
that in the city.
no, you can't. But you know, it depends. I don't know. Whatever you are, when you find somebody, I think you can find someone. I don't know. Yeah. So she keeps me laughing, and all the other friends I've met here, just once in a while, reminds me like, oh yeah, I need to laugh, or oh yes, I should be. Yeah, like I don't really say be positive all the time. It makes me really tired. But when I see my friend who is so positive about a lot of things, like whatever she says is like, that would be great if I can say that. So then that could the other day she gave me kind of a tickle to flip me over. Yeah, I have to say that. I need to. Yeah, so that's. Yeah, I need those things once in a while, because I do. There was a moment I was drinking so much. Yeah. And but that doesn't help at all. And
it's something you go through.
Yeah, and I like drinking, but now I really do prefer drinking with friends.
Yeah. And
I don't really want to going through that drinking anymore. That wasn't fun at all. So. Yeah.
It's self-harm.
It is, yeah, and also self-pity.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, poor me.
Yeah, which is understandable in the world we live in, because we're all told to think about ourselves.
Yeah. So I think you need that, and sometimes I try not to stop I didn't want to force my feeling, like, okay, don't think about like this, or don't go that way, or. And that is also just let it go, yeah. And also, you know, as you said, like sometimes you feel going down, but then there is a bottom somewhere. So just to hit the bottom, and then you have to come back. So just if you want to go down, go down. So this is what I've been telling myself. But I've been down too long. And I said, yeah, I thought I could go back. When and when? Oh, poor me. But
Well, it looks like
yeah, but
right
you will.
up there
Yeah.
now. I mean,
I am now.
You're
I
living.
am. Yeah,
It's
I
great.
am. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So do you have any idea where the red thread will lead you next? Flapping
I don't
in the
know.
winds of the future?
I don't know. But I do like living here. I really do like living here. This is really the first time whenever because I go overseas a lot to teach, not this year. And whenever I come back, it's like, it's so nice to be home. It's really the first time. I lived in quite a few countries, but this is really the first time. And also this year, because I'm not traveling at all, I enjoy it so much. It's really nice to see the garden from the beginning in the season, and also I go down to the field with my dog to go for a walk, and I really do like flowers and berries, and I knew, but this year I could see like every day the difference, you know, like the one start, like a primrose started and bluebell came and it's fade down and then something else started. It's really nice to feel those season and time like changing, and you know. So I need to change something, not to travel so much anymore. So,
Well,
but that was.
Thanks, Corona.
But I think it's important. So like when I was teaching, normally I have so many classes. I have to prepare for the class. And in between I had to make pieces for the coming show or whatever. But this year I didn't have to do anything. So I could make whatever I wanted. Not really, kind of, yes. Yeah. Like it was just, I had to do the basic things, but in between I managed to have the time to do something I like. And it's really enjoyable. I like it so much. So.
That's lovely.
Yeah, so that's why probably my spirits are getting high again.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing your high spirits with everybody, because it is an inspiring story.
It is,
and
yeah.
I think you've taught us a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me happy, so
Oh, good.
thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.